Hello everybody, welcome to Market Masterclass, and we're looking on the world front today at Papua New Guinea, which is north of Australia, the western side of a very large island which makes up about 463,000 square kilometers. The western part of the island belongs to Indonesia, and the independent country of Papua New Guinea makes up the eastern side of the big island, plus there's quite a few islands offshore, mostly to the north and east of the island. And unusual history. It was annexed by Queensland in 1883 from Australia, and then recognised by Australia itself in 1888, and there it remained as an annexation until 1949, when it started its move to become an independent country. So now Papua New Guinea. Papua, interesting, because it was named Papua by a Portuguese explorer in the 16th century who came across the people in Papua who had very frizzy hair, and the Malaysian word for frizzy hair is Papua, so he named it Papua. Later in the same century, a Spaniard explorer came there, and it reminded him of Africa, New Guinea, so he called it New Guinea. So over the many decades since then, and the centuries since then, it's now become Papua New Guinea. So there's an unusual little bit of history for you. Economically, it is particularly dependent on exports for oil, copper and gold, and of course prices of those have been going up and down in recent years. It also exports logs, palm oil, coffee, crayfish and prawns, and cocoa. And the main exporters, as you'd imagine, very important, Australia, 29% of exports go to Australia. The EU, on occasions, takes as many as 20% in any one year. Japan takes 10%, China 5%, Singapore 6%. As you'd expect from a non-industrialized country, you've got imports of machinery and transport, equipment, manufactured goods, food, fuel, and chemicals. So that's typical of a non-industrialized country. They have a lot of aid from Australia. Australia, on some occasions, has been pumping in $200 million a year to Papua New Guinea. It's also supported by the World Bank and other offshore institutions. In terms of imports, as you'd expect again, Australia 36%, Singapore 40%, Malaysia 8%, a little bit of China 8%, Japan 6%, and even 5% from the United States of America. So the economy has been extremely good in the past and has started to slow down rapidly. In 2014, the GDP growth was 13.3%. 2015, 9.9%. 2016, it's been 2.7%. So all dependent on copper, oil and gold prices, of course, which have been falling quite rapidly, and that is the source of their main exports. So weakness in global prices, poor infrastructure and weak business environment has not helped in Papua New Guinea, and recent cuts to public spending. In terms of easy doing business, rated 101st in the world. Unemployment is, although most people live in very remote regions across valleys where one tribe hardly ever gets to meet the other tribe because it's such a rugged country, but they claim that unemployment is 1.9% because most of the population, 85% of the population, are working in agriculture. The population below the poverty line has been rated at up to 40%, but I think they're quite content living off the land. So that's a sort of a westernized description of the workforce. Inflation has been as high as 55% in 2014, but then the economy grew over 30% that year. So things have been slowing down quite a lot in Papua New Guinea. In terms of its GDP world rating, it's 115th on the world scale, and unusual that 2/3 of the population of an estimated 7.6 million people are rated or reckoned to be Christians. So that is 800 different languages, 70% Christians, mostly living off the land, and Port Moresby, the capital, is where the biggest buzz for development remains. And as I said, they're totally dependent on their future, mainly for the price of oil, copper and gold mining that they do in the country. So that's Papua New Guinea. I hope you found that interesting and useful. Bye for now.